Hey, you guys, I'm up again. I'm so glad I know how to do that much faster now than I did before. Who have mercy. Alrighty, live on the other side. You know, I tell you, the devil will do whatever they can to keep you from being able to teach your people anything special. Just to be able to give you something different. Really? What was that going to be so hard for y'all? Like, come on. So sad. That's okay. So we now know that we will do the videos beforehand on Facebook or Discord, and then we'll just come up here and have the conversation. So, you guys, now that I think about it, let me do that. I think that's just absolutely bonkers. Bonkers. And disheartening. Disheartening to say the least. What was I going to do? Oh, guys, here is the Facebook link. And here is the video. Oh gosh, you guys. Medication works. Oh my goodness. Oh, you knew how much better I felt just by those two little. Y'all don't understand. I wish that I could have two. I do this so that you can try to understand, so that you can know that there's a whole.
Black, y'all.
Okay, so I'm JB, your spiritual DJ, and then I'm OG Patrice. Don't count us out. Don't put us down. For fuck's sake, not Yay! Yes, Rashawn, you're in the right place. Good gracious and mercy. I can't. Wow. Y'all, I am just grossed out. Truly, truly, truly just grossed out. Like, grossed out in a disappointed kind of way. Like, not because I didn't see it coming. I was just hoping, I'm small enough. I'm not bothering anybody. And I'm actually doing something different with this shit instead of just having people watch it one time. Like, quite literally, in order to be able to do what I was hoping, you'd watch it a couple of times. But nope. People are people. Corporations are corporations, and shit is shit. I am seriously just like bugged out and watching my email to figure out what it was. I want to know. So disrespectful. Just, it's not like if I were to reach out to them, they were going to reach out to me right back anytime soon. Hey, Mr. Best in the World. How's your spirit, fella? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Um, my point in Rashawn, thank you. My point was that, listen, I look out into the world, and I've been watching this since I was a teenager or even a parent. A lot of our people have this whole "Hey king, hey queen." You raising kings and queens though? Our children are walking around like lemmings. They're pawns on the chessboard being moved by damn near anybody. And in my mind's eye, the way that we go about stopping that is by looking at actual kings and queens and their movements and figuring out whether or not we messed up to any of them. Ah, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Hey, Darrell, so glad to see you, fella. Thank you guys for coming to find me. I'm really disappointed, but thank you for showing it up. It does lift my spirits. You know what? Drop your theme song. Let's just talk about it. I don't even. We can still get to the points that I was going to have. I just wanted to be able to, one, have you guys experience something that you probably wouldn't normally watch, right? Who's going to take you down a royal rabbit hole of television shows? But I know how to do it in a different way. And I'll bring that to you. It's just that it costs. It costs, and I am who I am. I don't lie to you. I came to Tucson with absolutely nothing. And with support of a whole bunch of other people and my own passion and purpose, I got this far. From, like I told you last time, the very, very bottom. So the idea that I made it to here and that there are 200 of you, 5 of you who showed up in just the last 2 days, how do I say to you, hey, I can't afford this? So I do what I can and I enjoy it. This is not a pity party. The tears are just what they are. I'm just saying to you, like, God damn, why beat up on the little people? That's what happened. In every one of those scenarios, Rashawn, you're right. The reason why it was so gross to you is because it was cyclical. It was cyclical abuse of your people. Leaders trying to tamp down the words of violence or whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I'm better than you because I have more money than you. I'm better than you because I'm more educated than you. I'm better than you because I'm prettier than you. I'm better than you. I'm better than you. Okay, you be better, I'll be different. It'll be harder for me, but I'll get there. And when I get there, I'll get there satisfied. And I'll get there knowing that along the way, I didn't injure anybody. And if I should fall, my fall won't be so hard. It won't be from grace. It would just be from a place. And once you understand that you are your spirit, you are your God spirit, you don't have to worry about the bullshit. What people say, what they do, that's on them. How you respond, how you act, that's on you. If you promise someone that you're going to stand in their corner 10 toes down and you set boundaries, then set a limit. If you set a boundary and say, hey, don't cross this boundary. First time you cross this boundary, you're bad. Second time you cross this boundary, my bad. You cross this boundary a third time, one of us ain't coming back from this shit. We have to start doing better and different. I'm sorry, you guys. Well, I had a bit of I'm irritated. I don't like bullies. I don't care in what form they become. No, Netflix. I was showing a Netflix show, Darrell, and they immediately blocked it. It might not have been them. It may have even been Blue's Clues. But seriously, like, come on, bruh. It's just disrespectful. YouTube might have blocked it because I used a kid's song in a doggone. It's just any number of reasons. People are small and petty, and corporations are now considered people, and they're small and petty too. I know that there are old people who aren't like me, Darrell, but they're going to fall by the wayside sooner than later. So then what are we left with? Do we emulate those old people? Do we learn from their mistakes and do better? Do we learn from our own mistakes and do better? Of course, they're always plotting against the real. We know that someone is always going to be coming for a message that's different. Why? Because they can capitalize off of it. Or because they don't want things to change and they want to tamp it down. Or they can listen to it and it sounds great, but they don't have to act on anything because it just sounds great. I can lay out the whole thing. I can give you a roadmap today on how to get from wherever you are to my house Are you gonna follow it just like that? No. You're gonna go to the gas station. You're gonna get some snacks. You're gonna, visit a monument or two. All kinds of things. It's no different. It's no different. Being a black creator today is no different than being a black creator in 1960 or whenever. Now they're just being honest about stealing your shit and not giving you any credit for it. Get over it, they say. I people I don't think that people don't care about being real. I think people just don't know. I think that we're people who make folks lead with we don't lead with respect or trust. So why would anybody respect or trust us out the gate? Like I said the other day, you get dinged around a lot harder when you lead with trust and respect. People assume that you are um weak, or that you won't fight for yourself, or that you have no muscle to flex, and that's not it. Not all battles are worth fighting, right? Like I said the other day, Chicago Rilla, mentioned, the whole don't pick sides, or that don't fight, those things. To what end? Oh no, I'm sorry. I want all black people to win. I do too, but not at the expense of poisoning my people. Never. Never. And so that's why I ask that when you send me things to react to, please send me things that aren't going to poison me. Don't get me wrong. I know that there's a lot going on out there, like all of the intimate partner violence conversations, and I'll have them. I'll have those in my own way, and I appreciate you sending me those things. But things that are just going to do me harm, why? And if you know something about me, and don't use it against me. I already tell everybody everything anyway. It's gonna make you look terrible. What are you gonna say? What are you actually gonna? What could you say about JP that nobody knows? And are you sure that no one already knows? It's These are the things that I had to have conversations with my sons about, because these types of people have always existed in our community. Darrell, I know that come have a conversation with me, Darrell. I'm dropping the link. Just have a conversation with me. Try to put your feelings for the people aside, though, and have a conversation with me. I want to talk about it. I don't want to just put up a thing, and I don't want to talk about. I don't want to just talk about folks' names. If they decide to pull up because somehow they got here, then fine, so be it. But let's have a conversation about it. We got to do better. Maybe once we've sniped at each other, maybe once we've shown a light on the idea that some people are just petty, maybe then we just move on. Peace, my eye. Listen, first of all, both of you have wrenches in this chat as far as I understand it. So I'm going to ask you both to time each other out. Second, I will ask that you both be willing to come up here and talk, but I'm asking you all to put feelings aside in this thing. Rashawn, I would ask that you all don't leave either. If we can have a real conversation. This isn't about YouTube. You are human beings. You are people who are trying to start careers in this thing. Why start it with a cloud over your head like this? Why start it with so many enemies? And you may not see it as enemies. You may just see it as you defending your honor. But remember that everything we do has a ripple effect. We are not alone in this world, even if we are by ourselves. We are not alone in this world. And when we move, we move. We make it move for other people. Your cipher, your sphere, your algorithm, you have a micro algorithm and a macro one. You all are messing up. I'm sorry. That was inappropriate. I am saying to you, there's a better way to go about these things. Okay, I'm sorry. So, Jay Davila, let me just get everybody caught up. You guys. Um, I was on originally and talking about something else and needing a Netflix or a Blues Clues or somebody got mad and I immediately got blocked and I had to start a new stream. I started a new stream and I was just venting my frustrations and Darrell pulled up and then I invited him to come up and then Mayat came up and then she came in and I was just like, hey, listen, let's just have a conversation. We can do this, but I'm not about to go through the nonsense. I want feelings put aside and the ability to sit down and have a conversation. And when I say pause, we pause. We can do this and not be a spectacle and a goddamn show to other people or we can just continue to be the same old people. Thank you, Mr. Best in the World. I see you. Give me just 1 second. I dropped the link. I'm willing to drop again. All right, then. Again, I'm going to drop the link. I'm going to bring you up, Mr. Best in the World. Thank you for stopping in, by the way. And then you guys, as I bring Mr. Best in the World up, please make sure that you share with your friends and people circle so that we can get this conversation going and people can understand that there's a lot of things happening in these YouTube streets that people aren't considering. I think that I am, though, Rashawn, when I know what you mean. And in this way, what I'm saying is this is about getting people to see. We have to continuously say to one another how to be better. Come on up, Mr. Best in the World. I
Oh
apologize.
wow, I am so honored to be on here. You don't even know. Like I'm a fan for real. Like I am. I'm a fan. Like I'm not even lying. Like everything I've seen you on, like I've been like, I've got to find a way to reach out to the sister. I got to find a way to connect to the sister. I just talked to Arshawn today. We had a great convo. You know,
Thank you.
yeah, my business number, everything is good. I definitely want to do an interview with you on our network about your journey, your platform, your experience. You know what I mean? So you can speak to us as a people because we need that. We truly need that. I
Thank
remember I
you.
seen you on the platform and you were shedding tears and the tears were real because you really want us to be united in these YouTube streets. And that's something that I'm definitely fighting for. You know, a lot of people they will say that like as far as my mind, they will call me like a genius, or some people will call me like a Kanye West type as far as like my mind, not my personality. I'm not that egocentric. You know what I mean? So with that being said, like my mind is to really unite people, help push great content, help push people to be better and to grow and do what they have to do. And shout out to everybody in the comments. Rashawn Dave, I see you. Maya speaks. You know, Daryl Long, that's my brother. You know what I mean? Definitely love him. He knows that. You know what I mean? Since day one. So yeah, so me and my platform, we're knowledge and relationships. And we I don't mean to make you cry, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? We really strive to really do that, give knowledge and relationships and really build that. You know what I mean? You say AMG still outside. Oh man, the road is so funny. I love talking to him. Me and him talking a constant, but yes, I really want to just push our people forward and unite everyone. I know it's very hard to do that. I know everybody have different personalities. I know, um, you know, I know everybody's going through different things. And shout out to Darrell. I know you rebuilding your platform, brother, and we definitely support you. We're definitely here. Um, and with that being said, I definitely want to help unite everybody. I know that it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, but I watched your last stream where you talked about us being unified. And I was seeing everybody's perspective, and some people were like, well, it can never happen. But I was like, no, it can. It can happen. If other coaches can have a system of class, decency, and respect, so can we. So can we. That's the last element. We figured out a way to make financial gain. We figured out a way to kind of finesse the game. Now we just have to unite. You know what I mean? That's the last step, but it's the hardest step. Love is always the hardest thing. It's always the hardest thing. It's never the easiest. So, yes.
I don't know if the echo is because I'm loud or you're loud. Okay. Um, I agree. Love is the hardest thing, and especially love of self. We have never felt or we feel that we've not been accepted, and in a lot of cases, we aren't accepted. We are tolerated because of what we can do or what we can provide, but accepted and actually appreciated, held on the held up is a different thing. Um, and so, to me, I don't know. Mom, first of all, let me back up for a moment. You've been in contact with me longer than you've known. The Village Facebook group where you drop your things on a regular basis, that is
Uh-huh.
the that content creator group belongs to me as well.
Oh
Um,
wow.
So, because I wanted content creators to understand that I'm not trying to rule anybody's roost, I want you to have a place to unite as content creators, and then I want to provide my own message. If you rock with both, then there are two places. There's places for you to go. But I understood the ego in the thing as I was doing my own journey, and as I've come along the way, a lot of the people that rock with me on a regular basis now just come back and tune in later on and listen, but the newer people don't know any of those things. And at the time, Jay was my moderator and he's inviting people, and then he keeps getting booted every 31 days. And so no one
Oh
understood that it
wow.
was two of us working together. So yeah, but thank you. And yes, I'm more than willing to come and talk anytime. I have some things, try to reach out to me in the Facebook group or the instant messenger. It's easier for me because it's real time. Having to go back and remember to do something is hard for me. But I love trying to talk to my people. I recognize now that a lot of the education that I got being outside of the United States, not just outside of the Black community, helped. Having knowledge of self from when I was 11 and then in reinvesting in that as a young adult in my own way just gave me a lot of opportunities. And I want to give those to my people because my children have peers who didn't get them. And I want there to be some continuity going forward of us having a better chance. So thank you. But go ahead.
No problem, no problem. And I love the fact that you are always trying to explain to us who are younger just what it is and who we are as a people
Yeah.
because we don't know. We're still trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? I'm in my 30s. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I have a certain level of perspective and understanding, but that's only based on 30 years of living on this earth. So I wasn't here for the Black experience that you was here for. I wasn't here for that. So I can't speak to that. I don't know what was going on in the 70s and the 60s. And even some of the 80s, I don't know. You know what I mean? Now the 90s, I'll know. The 2000s, I'll know. You know what I mean? But that's as far as it'll go. You know what I mean? So with that being said, and I don't mind telling my age. It's all good. I am young. But but yeah, with that being said, it's all right to not know everything. The thing is to accept and have a level of understanding that you don't know everything. It's fine not
Yeah.
to and I think that I think the fact of you calling people higher is not necessarily a bad thing. I know Sean made a comment about it could come off as judgmental, and sometimes it can. Sometimes it can. You know, what I mean, not from you. Now, I'm not saying that you come off judgmental,
Mhm.
but I say when sometimes people call people higher, it can seem that way. You know what I mean? Because it just depends how the message is delivered. But we all need to be better. Like I need to be better. You know what I'm saying? I realize that like I'm not who what I was, but I'm better than what I used to be. I'll say that much. And I need to grow and be better. That's everybody though. I mean, it's not the fact that we are gonna ever be perfect, but it's just realizing that we all have something to work on. We can all be better, little by little. But it's a journey. It's a process. It doesn't happen overnight, and it's not something that should happen overnight. You know what I mean? And we as a people, we have to understand the system that we're in this country. Understand capitalism. Understand its moral base that it has no moral base, and understand how to play the game. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean compromise your values, but just understand how the game is played. So that's why I get frustrated when Black people talk about we can't have no handouts, we can't do this, we can't do that. Why? Everybody else do it. You know what I mean? They don't
Because
have to hand anything out or taking a handout.
we've always been the ones to help other people fight. And so we have this habit of viewing the world through a lens of what they've already got and the more that they're getting. Not keeping in mind that our journey is still even younger than America's journey. So if America's been
Mm.
here in whatever time frame you want to give it its power to, we've only been Black people since the end of slavery, right? We're
Yeah.
still learning a thing. We're not Americans, we're Black Americans. We are a nation within a nation, and we're trying to move like people that we are not. The American dream is not our dream. What is the Black American dream? And how can we bring it to all of us in the most consistent way without doing a whole lot of damage? Why is that
Exactly.
so hard? So
Exactly.
my goal was to take the show Rise of Empires, Ottomans, because that's what we're doing. We're trying to figure out how to build our own country, our own empire, right? And look at the movements of the emperor at the time, the people who were inside of his circle, who were the spies, who were the ops, who were the uh, who was it that was telling all the lies? What y'all call it? Cap, whatever. I told Chicago Rilla he got to pull up and help me with my lingo. Listen. This is okay. Here's a little bit of an inside secret on JP.
Okay.
Outside, stop that. Okay, outside of my children's father, I've only dated maybe one other person who was older than me, and that's because I've not I have been a woman who's been willing to approach a man, but I have been blessed enough to have men approach me first, and they're usually younger men. And so as a result, like the young man whom I lost, he, one of the reasons why we ended up being together is because I was like, okay, listen, look, I'm older than you, and we're gonna have to figure out this language barrier thing. And he thought I was ridiculous. What are you talking about? And I was like, no, listen, okay. So what exactly is a thought? And he was like, what'd you say? What is a thought? He was like, you that hoe over there. I was like, huh?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the start of
Wow.
my relationship.
Wow. Hey, you had to figure it out. You had to figure it out, and he helped you figure it out.
Very much. So yeah, yeah, anytime, so I'm like, okay, so Cap I know is lying, but the way that it
Yes.
gets used, I'm like, yeah, but that's Cap, that's a lie or it's not a lie. It's too much for me. Also, like the other one was that's what's up. What's up though?
The sky.
Yeah. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm too literal with some things, and it would, it's cute sometimes, and other times, like if you don't get it together, girl, then just I'm gonna beat you up. So, but I say all of that because we have to listen. I accept all of these things about me, and it's baked into the cake of who I am. Becoming a YouTuber, having this ego struggle is baked into the cake. Being a Black
Mm.
creator, having this ego struggle is baked into the cake. And if I can share ahead of time, I know how people are, not just Black folks, but people. You have to get the message constantly driven home to you. Listen, it's gonna be hard. The hard isn't the issue, it's how you recover from the hard. You're always gonna have things taken from you. It's how you recover from how it's taken from you. Do not allow it to destroy you, and do not destroy anybody else in the process. And that's hard to do. And Rashawn keeps saying you have to
Mm.
start at the basic level. And I do. It's just that we are still adults. So where I would tell my sons when they were smaller, quite literally, listen, if it's not playing if the other person isn't laughing or smiling. If the other person is crying and you're happy, well, only one of you was playing. And that's not
Exactly.
okay.
Exactly.
So, how do we do that for someone over, I don't know, 10? I
I'll
shouldn't
say.
have to. Go
Oh,
ahead.
I'm sorry, sister. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I shouldn't have to. Okay. I didn't realize I was going to have to go that far back. You understand? When I came to YouTube, I understood that disabled folks felt a certain way. I understood that certain Black folks might feel a certain way. I didn't understand that all of my people were feel. And when I say my people, it's because I what they call intersectional, which is a term that I dislike. But I'm almost everything inside of the damn sections. Okay, I'm right dead in the damn middle. But you have to make some decisions. And what I know and understand is before anybody ever knows that I am disabled, before anybody ever knows that I might have been queer, before anybody ever knows anything, hush your mouth, before anybody knows anything at all, they know that I am Black. And with that comes everything that they've decided that Blackness is. And I
Exactly.
have to stand as the only Black chocolate chip on the goddamn cookie.
Hey,
You
it is
know?
what it is. I hear you. I hear you. And I agree with Arshawn's statements, the exact same way everyone isn't raised conditioned, socialized in healthy ways. That's true.
Yeah.
I wasn't raised in a healthy way at all. Definitely wasn't raised in a healthy way. I had a parent that left and started a whole new family. They were in criminal justice. They was in a criminal world, and they wound up doing 20 years in the Fed. So I just met them, this year, and I'm almost 40. So that should just tell you, the nature of our relationship. So, and they still want me to be in their wedding. So it is what it is. Yeah,
Okay.
so a lot to take on, right?
Yes, let me push back at parents.
Mm,
Okay. Parents. Our children are given to us because of the society that we live in for 18 years. They're giving to us as a clean slate. Think of them like artwork, right? A clean white piece of paper. You can fill that damn canvas with whatever you like, right? We all had this opportunity. At the end, you turn in your artwork to the world, and then the world tells your child what you created. Now you got to think about what are you putting on that damn canvas? Because what I got back for my sons to view as art was just mold lumps of clay, not even molded, right? We don't care. I don't know. We've gone so far down the assimilation, taste in the bag rabbit hole that we see our children as bags and ops, as opposed to the future, this thing that we can protect for 18 years. That's all you got to get it right. You can't make them what you want them to be, but you can pour into them whatever tools and foundational information that will make them able to move forward in this society. And then at the end of those 18 years, the only thing that we have is the hope that they will allow us access to their garden. We planted them in that space. But we can't keep coming back to that space, and they can't move from who they are. They've got to go on their journey. They got to continue to grow in their way. We can be in their lives either as useless, useful, or usable. The choice is yours.
yeah, yeah. And I think it's unfair that sometimes parents put expectations on kids, especially if you haven't really been there as a parent. And I feel like it's not fair if you do that. Um, and yeah, and that's the thing because they know that I feel like my parents know that they're my parents, so sometimes they take advantage of that. I mean, they know they could say certain things or they could call multiple times and I'm gonna pick up. Like they just know that it's gonna work out in their favor, like because they're always gonna win, right? Until they're not here anymore, they have the advantage because they're the parent. That's just the way life is, unfortunately. At least I feel that way.
You have to set boundaries. My sons, listen here, old lady. I'm not going to take no more of this madness off of you. Get your shit together. Okay? You do.
Mm,
And I had to accept that. And there was a whole lot of back and forth and contentiousness. One of the reasons why is how I ended up in my current relationship. But that's a subject for a late night. You had better be here because it's getting locked up as soon as we done with it conversation. Okay, but Because even despite all of the things that we went through dealing with that situation, I had always poured into my sons with respect and love. They understood. We were able to get back to a point where, listen, son, yes, I am still your mother, but I am a grown woman who has to allow you to part from me so that you can find someone else to cover and I can be covered by someone else because your father didn't do that. And but along their journey, their whole lives, because my dad, the man that I speak of in the most loving and compassionate way, is actually my stepfather. I've always been cognizant of the idea that there was someone else out there, or that their father is out there, and he has a right and access to all of his things as a parent. It just so happens that it didn't work out that way for whatever reason. I've never told my children, blah 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 blah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But for whatever reason, the other side of parenting didn't happen the same way as it did on this side. That's for you all to deal with. I'm here to be your mother, to share with you as much information as I can about having you pick an apple, which is the other thing about this show. He calls Constantinople an apple, and men used to say back in the day, girl, you're the apple of my eye. Do you
yeah,
know how
yeah,
to pick an
yeah.
apple? Let me teach you how to pick an apple. I was going to do femininity courses. I'm like, you know what? Nah, nah. Nah. Look at
I,
look at
I,
April Mason.
I would say this as far as just being a content creator. One of the things that I always follow and I always tell my team, because it's a team of 5 of us, including myself, I always tell them, create content and don't be the content.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your job is to create content, not to be the content. Nobody needs to know about your personal life. Nobody needs to know about how many kids you have, your bedroom life, your career. They don't really know that. If you want to divulge those things, you can, but all your job here to do is to entertain and enlighten people. That's it. That's all you're supposed to do. You don't have to really give your whole life and just show everything. That's not your responsibility. You're
There
really
are
here. Oh yeah. And the last part I was gonna say is not to be long winded. Last part I was gonna say is that I've also learned that relationships is currency. You know, you have to be able to go to any space, anytime, anywhere. You got to have good relationships no matter where you go, because if you don't, it will haunt you. It will hold you back, and it will hurt you in the end. And I hate to see people be hurt by the decisions that they made. You know what I mean? Because it can all be avoided. You know what I mean? And if somebody just really doesn't want to associate with you, you don't want to associate with them, then it's just good to just eliminate all forms of contact, all forms of anything, because they're just not your cup of tea. You know what I
mm-hmm.
mean? Yes, get the likes up, like and subscribe, y'all. Hit that bell. Hit the
Thank
bell,
you.
okay? Definitely, definitely.
I
Please like
forget.
subscribe. It's all good,
But
but yeah, that's what it has to be. Build your relationships and allow your content to speak for itself. You know what I mean? The people will come. And then from there, yes, you can, little by little, you can let your audience know you, bring them more inside of your world, but, all this personal stuff and all this, getting personal about yourself or with others, there's no need for that. It just takes away from you being creative, or at least for me, honestly.
so what I would say is this. I think for every content creator, your lane is different, and keep that in mind as well. What are you good at? What are
Yes.
you capable of? What are you such and such? It what I do looks very easy. Turn on the camera and talk. The lead attorney, turn on the camera and talk, right? And Tadar, that's it. It's not that easy, no matter how much anyone says that it is. And it looks easy coming from me, but behind the scenes, I'm a public speaker. I was a volunteer coordinator for the better part of 20 years. I raised,
Wow.
thank you. I raised three men at this point. I ran a daycare. I ran, so what looks easy is because I have been doing this a long time. Adding a camera to it is the last element. I've been in social media spaces before it was even called social media, when it was AOL, right? Dial up.
Wow.
Yeah, I was getting doxxed back then
Wow.
as a stay-at-home mother, just taking care of my kid, trying to balance life. Then that's when I was arguing religion and doctrine and so on and so forth. And so coming to YouTube and seeing my people just starting to do that 26 years
Mm,
later,
mm,
I'm like, wait a
mm.
minute, I gotta back up. I gotta recalibrate. you know, and if you're someone who's about your own growth in your journey, you realize that each time that you grow, you hit that thing, right? Where you got to overcome your ego. You got to overcome the steps in the process yourself and be like, okay, I got to back up. Let me look, let me reassess, and then move forward.
Yeah, I almost hit the wall in September. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can keep doing this. And I had to get me an assistant. I had to just restructure things as a channel. We had to restructure things as a team. And we just had to assign roles. And once we assigned the roles that everybody had, it made everything a lot more easier. People feel more comfortable. Nobody feels a way about anything. We all are just, ecstatic and happy and
Yes.
fulfilled in what we do. And we don't bump heads. And that's the thing. And we've been doing it since the springtime. And we've had
Nice.
we've had disagreements here and there, but we were never disagreeable. And whoever, tried to mess up our dynamic, we automatically remove them or they remove themselves. And that's what we had to do. But as far as like our core team, we've gotten stronger and stronger. And we've also added a few team members. Like we have a show that's gonna drop on our network that I am not even a part of. I'm not even a part of the show at all. I just know the person. I'm gonna help them moderate, and that's all I'm gonna do. You know what I
Good for you.
mean?
Good for both of you.
Which is my goal. I was like, I want to have a show on here that I'm not on. I can kind of just, I could be a viewer, and I don't have to always talk because you have to always talk, and this. Where's that be in front of camera? You always talk. It's not easy. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't want to talk. Sometimes you see somebody go live, and you're like, you know what? I want to go and chill. Yeah. I want to go sip some tea or, just relax for a minute, go watch some basketball or something like, so sometimes I don't want to get on, but, because I've restructured things and because I understand just how much my voice is needed and how much I need to hear the voices of others and how much the connections are key and the relationships are key.
Yeah.
That's what counts. Yes, facts, all the way facts. Definitely, Rashawn, definitely.
Yeah. But that's the thing that is huh, agape love. And that's the love that we have to lead with.
Mm,
We
yes.
we as a people lead with what we think is love, but it's actually lust. We look first at our people through the lens of
Wow.
thank you. We look first at our people through the lens of how can we either sexualize them or use them. And only after that do we see the person. Uh,
Mm,
and I think that if we were to look for the person first and then offer them agape love in the form of open trust and respect until you injure me. Now,
mm,
open trust and respect with your boundaries are already in place as a person, right? You
yeah.
understand, you got knowledge of self, you're wise enough to know when to go into battle and when not to. And now you're approaching other people. When you do so, agape love, give them the respect, allow them to have the trust already, and then move. Don't just out the gate,
Mm,
be like, oh, that person is such and such, that person is so and so. Sit back and watch. All of the things that they say in these ridiculous cliches are true, but they usually give you 2 out of 3 pointers because 2 out of 3 ain't bad when you're talking compared to 1 out of 3. You understand? Or nothing at all.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But the
Yes.
idea that you could have all, no one ever like you can have it all. You can have it all. I can listen. You play
Mm.
dominoes?
I play a game called Mexican Train. It's kind of similar to dominoes,
Okay,
but
so
yeah.
but in that game you have to know how many of them there are, right?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
So dominoes card, you have to know how many books, how many dominoes there are on the table. Everybody knows that. You still can't play my hand. I can give you all the information.
Mm, mm,
You can have all the information. Can you play my hand? You can't run my race. You cannot do what I do. You cannot do JP better than JP can do JP, especially if JP is always growing. So if Black
Mm,
people are always growing, doing different, moving forward versus being proud of being Black people,
mm.
then we get somewhere.
Yeah, it has to have a deeper meaning, and it has to. We have to get back to when we had a moral compass.
Yes.
And of course, yes, every group of people have an underworld. Every group of people have people that are not the most admonished or they're kind of looked down upon. Every group of people have that, but they all have a moral base, moral compass. We don't have that. All we do is chase trinkets and money, and that's not enough. That's not about character. There's no nation of people. If you go to and this, you just got to kind of look how just the world just does things. If you look at how people do, you look at politics and just the world of politics, right? The nations that are respected are not just the nations that have a lot of money or have guns and everything. They're nations who have structure.
Mm-hmm.
They have structure. They have a moral base, a moral compass, and they are united based upon that. North Korea is not that big. It's not that big of a piece of a land, but they are organized.
Okay,
They're
but
organized, and that
so
organization is what separates them from a lot of people. I don't agree with all their political things. I don't agree with all the political things that Americans do. You know what I mean? But it's having that structure. You got to have structure, and you got to have balance, and everybody has to be aligned with that structure. You know what I mean? And that's how you become successful. You
I
know.
agree. Now, here's where I would say our people have faltered with structure. We've been sold religion and doctrine as structure, and
Mm,
indoctrination as structure, right? Um, and that's not ours. It's been given to us by someone else, and yet we cling to it because we do not have anything else. So, like Rashawn said earlier, we have to give each other knowledge of self. And I have to understand that that means starting with getting you to see the God spirit in you, and not in the context of any religion, but who you are as a human being and the power to be resilient under any circumstances as a Black person. Having said that, and
mm.
peace out to Snuggles, who I'm so glad to see you here in the chat. Please make sure you share with your people.
Shout out to Snuggles.
Um,
I like the emoji.
yeah, Snuggles is adorable. My favorite troll and a very loving troll. So don't take that the wrong way, guys. But we, when we go out to give knowledge of self at the most basic of levels, we really got to talk about for everybody. Even though I talk to my people because it's my people, I'm not against anybody else. It's just that the ones that look like me, I need them to have a future. So I got to talk to them first, right?
Mm, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I,
Everybody
and I
else has
think
their leader.
And I think with us too, I think we have to get out of the mindset that of us not adopting our true self, our true African nature. You know what I mean? Because we always want to say we're everything else but what we really are, which is at the base level we're African. Doesn't matter where you live. You can live in Europe. You can live in the Caribbean. You can live in South America. You can live in Latin America. We all are. We all mostly have. We all come from African. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? An African ethnicity. You know what I mean? And we have to adopt that. We can't run from it. We can't say because we speak a certain language or we are in a certain type of land or we were brought to a certain type of land that that's who we are. That's not who we are. That's just where we live. I'm not just a brother from New York. I am African first. You know what I mean? I was born here and now I live in New York. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
gonna give you. I'm gonna give you a deeper pushback
I have
for
a
your
question
whole.
too. I have a
Uh
question
huh.
too before I go. I have a question.
Hmm.
But yes, I'm listening. I'm listening.
Okay. So here's the deeper pushback. You ain't from Africa. You're not from the United States. You're just here in this place in this time. Your spirit,
Wow.
your God energy, right? That thing that's connected to the universe is just as eternal as the universe, right? Get them in line
Mm,
using cannabis, your endocannabinoid system. We're going to talk about it on Saturday night. Make sure you pull up. But
I will
anyway,
be there.
cool. So, um, having said all of that, when you are aligned with the universe, when you understand that you are the creator in your space, right? That's the content that you create, no matter who you are. You're a content
Mm,
creator inside of your space, that every move you make affects everything else inside of your space. How can you make it better for everything in your space and everyone? If you want peace, how do you provide peace? How do you produce peace? If you want food, how do you provide it? How do you produce it? If you want love, how do you provide it? How do you produce it? At the end of the day, it comes, and then protect it. It comes down to those things, and it's almost always in threes. Once you've got a foundation that's sturdy enough, and it is never four things, it's always going to be five pillars in a foundation that's sturdy. Why? You got to go on a
mm,
cross beam. You understand what I'm saying? You got 4 points
yes.
out here. You need somewhere to connect in the middle, or otherwise the bottom gonna fall out that motherfucker.
That's true. That is so true. Okay, my question is this, because I do have another agreement that I agreed to be a part of as well. I
Understood.
didn't know you was gonna go live today, or unless I would have been on this a lot longer. And thank you for having me on. I'm truly honored to be on. Like I said, I'm definitely a fan.
Thank
Um,
you.
you're welcome. With that being said, my question is: do you think that the reason why they have basically made us slaves to religion and doctrine? Do you think that's happened because they don't want us to know our true identity? Do you think that's the reason why? Is that one of the reasons why?
It's definitely one of the reasons why. I wouldn't say it's the only reason why, but certainly if you know your power and you know that uniting is power, then what will you do once you have power? Will you come for me?
Mm,
Will you do what to me what I did to you? If we already know that, what did we say earlier? The way that you go up is the way that you come down. That's the assumption that
mm,
they have all the time. And that's the assuming that we are the ones who are going to bring about their downfall, and in that way, not understanding we are connected to the universe more so than anybody else, because we've been the most harmed outside of our native folks. And once again, they are us as well, as you said, right? We're not of
yes.
any one particular place, we're of this time.
Yes.
So, having said that, if you keep that in mind, right, that it's not our dang it, my brain stopped working just like that. So them holding on to the idea that it's possible that we could do to them what they have done to us, not realizing we ain't got that big a bank account, but the universe does. We're not going to come for you. We
Mm,
just want peace. All we want is our own place to build for our people the same way that every other tribe does. Once we've got that, we're going to leave you be. Don't come for
yep.
us. We won't come for you. How many black folks you know live that life right now?
Mm, a lot of us do. A lot of us do. We just want peace, peace and
That's
love.
it.
Yeah. And shout out to Sister to Sister Podcast. I'm a fan of
Yes.
theirs too. Definitely thank y'all for being on. We appreciate y'all. JP,
Thank you.
I will be here Saturday. I will definitely show you love. I will try to get some of my team to come through on Saturday as well.
Thank you.
And
I'll be here Friday too.
okay, I'll pull up Friday too as well.
Thank you.
And thank you for having me on. I
Thank
truly
you.
appreciate you. Much love, sister.
Thank
Definitely love you,
you.
and just hope that you have the great rest of your stream. I'll be watching,
Thank you.
and definitely, I'm so honored to have you to be a part of this experience with you. Thank you for your knowledge and your love, and I definitely will talk to you later.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. You have a good one. See you in the streams.
All righty, good night.
Wow. Oh my God, you guys. This turned out to be a different kind of night from what I expected. Still something that I could enjoy and appreciate, and hopefully was something that was positive information for you guys. Snuggles, Sister to Sister podcast. Who else did I miss? Just a guy who, thank you guys so much for being here. I am glad that you found me. I was so concerned. I was like, I still think that Netflix sucks, but that's okay. We'll get through it. I haven't seen an email, so I don't know who it was that was upset, but I guess I'll find out sooner than later, huh? Okay, so let's see. Snuggle says, prove that you're connected to the universe. You do not want peace. You do not prove it by harming your own. If you say you are in contention with another, that concept you're talking about is very contradictive. Who are we in contention with? Maybe I missed when I said that there was contention. When you have a chance to build for your people or build up your own people, what do you or do to each other? Just use YouTube as an example. Yes, continuously we are seeing that more and more people not just stop that sister. Yes, sister, but the questions are sister to sister. You ever had that one Caucasian friend, knew all of the rap lyrics and all of the stuff and the hype, you know, and they were cool, long as they ain't never dropped the N bomb and they wasn't sleeping with the wrong brother. That's kind of Snuggles. I mean, that's the impression that I get. I don't want to be disrespectful to you, Snuggles, really and truly. But you do come off as someone who's not of the culture, to be fair. And we played this game before. Who is Snuggles? What is Snuggles? But when it comes to YouTube, you're correct. You're seeing real time our people come to YouTube, try to make a whole bunch of money, chasing the bag, and then ending up you're seeing their ego struggles come to light in real time. And then you seeing the trench mindset, trench warfare happen in the process. I see what you're saying, Snuggles. You said that that's the problem. I asked a question, but I was ending a conversation, so whatever it was that I wasn't talking about and the host of things wasn't always quite so necessary. When you have a chance to build your people, oh yeah, I don't disagree with you. We take a lot of chances, just coming to YouTube and just talking. Um, Especially if we're not careful about how we talk or what we talk about. But if you're here throughout the in conversation, which is why we try to make sure over here we keep it to an hour or two, then it's digestible. And it's something, if you can't digest it in the first sitting, you can go back and digest again. No matter how you slice it, looking at getting the information out there, you have to you have to speak over and over and over again. Um, Is that indoctrination or is it just the work of breaking indoctrination? If you know that someone's indoctrinated, you'd have to use the tools of indoctrination to disindoctrinate them, wouldn't you? In some way. I'm just thinking. But let's see. Hmm. Let's see. The fact that the question is being asked, but you were asking another question that has nothing to do with the original question, is why it will always be easy to control somebody else. Oh, um, this stream originally started with me trying to talk about a Netflix show that that creator was upset that I was sharing their creation, and so we decided to have a conversation about other things, mostly about how irritating and rude it was to bully the little people. So, if you want to talk about keeping it in context, to have someone outside of this culture come into a Black woman's space and attempt to try to tell her how to move when talking to her people, I would say that that's pretty much in character with your people. And in doing something different as a content creator, I choose to not throw you out of this space where other people would treat you like pariah white folks and set your ass on fire. I try not to do that. I lead with love first. And in that case, I read the comments and I digest them as best I can in the short amount of time that we have. And then together we try to come up with some solutions. So when we met with bullies, we attempt to start with love. When that doesn't work, then we have to move on to whatever vice it is, or I'm sorry, whatever tool it is that we have next. Did I get it out? To have a small thought process and to have a scatterbrained approach to everything is the problem. Have you ever paid attention to lamb being led to the slaughterhouse? That's cute. Have you ever seen my video on not being anybody's lamb or flower? Over here, we're unicorns. We do things different so as not to be led to slaughter. What we do over here is we decide whether or not you are an ally or an asset. We don't do associates and we don't do friends. Sister to sister, you can't take that approach. If you say, if you're such and such, then I'm not going to explain anything to you, that's kind of disrespectful. I mean, that's just kind of like folks who say, well, it's not my fault you don't know what it is to be Afro Latina or what that means. You need to go learn your history. Well, let's talk about the history of colorism inside of Afro Latin nations. Let's start pushing buttons if we're going to push buttons, or let's be respectful. Let's understand that we are not in our house and we can't move however the damn well we please. Let's understand that over here, when we come to treat with another nation, we do so with the grace that we are afforded upon entry. When in hostile territory, we do our best not to injure anybody. Even if injured in hostile territory, we leave in such a way that we could return and still not be harmed upon our return. We ask that you figure out how to be an ambassador and do the same. Your inability to not know your place or to know your place and to think that you can tell someone how to run their house has always been a problem. But that comes from your people being raised by our people, even though we were domestics to you. You feel entitled to speak to people in any way that you choose. It's been passed on to our children. They've been assimilated to believe that they are just like you. People who are still stuck in the matrix. The thought processes that if you just keep pushing at someone and pushing at someone and pushing at someone, even after they lead with kindness, that they're never going to thump you in your cognitive dissonance and let you know you are out of line. In your house, they would not do that. In someone else's house, they would not do that. When you come to their house, that's a different set of rules. Learn them, play by them, or be constantly knocked around in the world. That goes back to the original discussion, to the entire purpose of this platform. I raised men who can lead. I'm looking for women who can be with them. I don't see any. And so I speak. And when I speak so that my people can put themselves in a position that they can unite together, love each other, and create a foundational future. I am never off of my fucking stand. Perhaps while working on yourself and listening to my content, you will find your way to your foundation and stand on that. In the meantime, be sure to share with anybody who, like you, needs this information, could share it with somebody else, or knows anyone who might be in need of this information. It's that time, y'all. Anybody got a theme song for me? I wonder. No, we already did that one. Ooh, Rashawn, you ready? Rashawn. I need to do this too, you guys. I am so real talk. They better not play a new ridiculous one. I'll be so upset. So. You have no idea how mad I will be if this ends up being one of these new modern versions of this song, because I just think that that's disrespectful. I saw the new version of Blues Clues and I was throwing up. Ugh. Telling you, I was so upset. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Hey, come on now. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? You guys. We already did the Planet song. You want to do the Planet song again? Who's distracted? Me? I'm on my way out. What are you talking about? You don't want me. Ooh, blue skidoo. You can't do. I'm trying to find the notebook song and I don't remember it. I can't. What would it have been called? Um What do you mean? Oh hell nah. Not Blues Clues. Come on. You're so petty, Rashawn. That's not love. I don't think that. Come on. Come on. Okay, what am I going to play? What am I going to play? What am I going to play? Da 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 do 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 do. Oh, I know here. Nope. I don't want to play that song. Stop it. I don't want to play that song. Uh, you guys, I'm stuck. Oh my gosh, it's been a minute. Do, 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 do. Oh, here's one. I so really hope that this happens tomorrow. It has been cold and painful, and this would really help. You ready?
Oh, Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, please shine down on me. Oh, Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, hiding behind the tree.
I wake my neighbor up to this some days, you guys. I just bop into the house and start singing this from the other room. You don't want to be around JP.
Please shine down.
Get your doses of JP on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Be thankful you are not my neighbor. Could you imagine? Woo, have mercy. How do they put up with me? I am thankful and blessed every day. Thankful and blessed that you guys came to spend some time with me. A little bit irritated because of things that happened earlier, but we're still here. Let me chill out. uh, I need to take my happy behind to bed, y'all. Then again, I really don't feel like it yet. Besides that, I'm going to have to medicate sooner than later. But I am sick of being in the house. So maybe I'll go get on Instagram. Hmm. I don't know, you guys. All of my people are in bed already. I have insomnia. I figure some of you out there on the East Coast must too, if you're still up now. And the weather makes the insomnia worse. The more that you recognize, like, your connection to the world and the things around you, um, the more that you can feel it. You know, Snuggles asked the question, how do you prove that you're connected to the universe? By the way that things move for you in the world. Does your positive outweigh your negative? 5%ers have this build on the positive, destroy all negativity. What the funk calls it alchemy. I think we all seek it in our own way. Peace. I don't know. It's one of those things. Mentalism. Are you telling me that I'm mentalism is certainly probably what's got me never going to sleep. Maybe I smoke. Maybe I medicate too much to get myself on the right sleeping pattern. I know that that's not it. I tend to do edibles to help me sleep. Um, I've never really looked into other doctrines in that way. I researched Christianity, Islam, Taoism, Buddhism. What else? Oh, a little bit of stuff, alternative lifestyles, so to speak. I researched a few things, and after a while, what I just really realized is if you know, treat people with love, if you compassionate, is what I call it. Because to me, compassion is a verb, so you compassionate. If you do the work of being there for someone, telling them that you love them, and then showing that by committing to being there, then that's pretty much it. That's the most foundational principle in any of those studies. The Kybalion? No. Let's go look it up. Yeah. By 3 initiates. Potion 1908. 3 initiates that purports to convey the teachings of Everest. Huh. Although the principles, sorry, I guess I could be sharing this, huh? Although the principles described in this book are found in all lands among all religions, they have never been identified with any specific religious sect. Instead, the lessons contained in the book have always been maintained with strict secrecy. Ew. Is it really called the Wealth Creation Mastermind? Was it always that, or is that just what this website is? Okay, that's just what the website is. I apologize. First of all, you should never yuck someone's yum. But second of all, to judge a book by its cover or even its Google description isn't fair. I was just looking for a short synopsis. Okay, I'll have to look into it. I think that I have some type of audiobook on Amazon Prime, and so I'm gonna look there. Uh, Which reminds me, hey, if any of you guys know people who have EBT and want their kids to be able to have access to books and whatnot, you can get a discount on um, your Amazon Prime. You can get a discount. Oh, and you can order pizza from a place called Papa Murphy's, but you have to go pick it up using your EBT card. So just a little note to you, when I was working in AmeriCorps and even in my life, that was something that helped. So thought I'd share while I was sitting here. I thought about it. when I was a military volunteer coordinator, one of the things that I had to do was help spouses get through transitional times when the fellows were deployed and they didn't have access to funds, or there was some type of delay in information. So it helps to know those little things. And anytime that I think of them, at this point, you guys, I'm learning that it's best for me just to real time share things. So if I think about it, I'm just going to share it. I am cognizant of not doing too many things about what's going to affect me exceptionally personally. And I think that you should create those boundaries, like Mr. O said earlier. And again, like I said, keep in mind, every content creator is different. Whom you appreciate for their message, when you really rock with them, go back and look at their content and see whether or not you understand their content creator journey. Have you seen some growth or no? Did you expect to see any? Uh, one of the things that I think that we need to look at when we are talking about being a good leader is we can't lead by example for those who don't look like us. So I can't lead by example for my sons to be, I can't be a better man or a different man for my sons. I can be a different woman so that they know what woman to choose, so they know which apple to pick. I can't be a different, you know what? I'm going to drop the link. I'm going to play a video. I'm going to stay for a little bit longer as I hear the fellas sink into snoring and wish that I was that sleepy. Oh, nope. I lied to you guys. I'm not. It's 10:30 and I'm going to go to bed. And I'm going to get up and do this again. So don't be surprised if you see me in about 2 hours on Instagram or Facebook. Just look for the little light on in one of those things. But I need to learn to go ahead and call it a night, even when I'm not that tired. I can turn on a video, listen to some music, and instead of us having some insomnia chat together right now, we can see which insomniacs are up in a couple of hours. Thank you guys for rocking with me. I truly appreciate you. As you guys are on your way out the door, let's do one theme song, maybe two. Anybody got one for me? Let's do. Oh, you know who I haven't seen in a while, and maybe we'll do this. I don't. You can come see me on Friday, fella, if you're here. Guys, don't forget, I will be live on Friday at 8:30 Mountain Standard Time, 10:30 Eastern. We'll be talking with the Dojo of Manhood. And then on Saturday, we're going to go deep into the night and we're going to be talking about your secret ingredients. Get excited. One of them is definitely cannabis. The other is your endocannabinoid system. And well, of course, we're always going to talk about love. Here we go, y'all.
Going to the fucking moon. Going to the fucking moon. Going to the fucking moon. Fuck Andy, cause we're holding on for dear life, getting damn tandy so soon.
I miss you, unique
Don't be mistaken, the apes won't be shaking. Trash can we're going to the fucking Monday very soon. Gonna wake up on the moon, brand new yacht and a McDonald's in my living room. Bright yellow Lamborghini.
I look forward to seeing all of you fellas on Friday. Shout out to Third Coast Royalty for a fantastic conversation on Twitter. Maybe I'll open up a space over there in a couple of hours. I hope to see you guys soon. Keep your spirit up, and I will see you in the stream.
Now we be out here yelling, hey, fuck you, Kenny. Want my wife a minivan to share with the boyfriend, but I pull up in the Benz plate saying all of grand's going on an airplane. Don't be moving back again, celebrate.